All right, and we are live, guys. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining another great episode of Talk with Miss T. As you already know, I'm your host, Miss T, and I am back with another great interview for you today. Listen, I'm not going to take too much time talking about myself because you guys already know, but if you have not already downloaded our official Talk with Miss T mobile app, I am going to need you to do that. It is free, so you don't got to worry about paying for it. That's great. Also, if you don't already follow me, go to talkwithmisst.com. You'll see all of our social media platforms there. But without further ado, I have the honor, guys, and the privilege of sitting down with Miss Shirley Murdock. How are you doing today?
Hey, Miss T, I'm good, honey. How are you?
I am doing good. Again, welcome to Talk with Miss T. It is amazing to have you. I'm super excited to have this interview. So
Thank
we
you.
gonna get it set today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Awesome, awesome. So I always like, for my guests when they do come on, just first tell us who Shirley Murdock is.
Okay. Well, Shirley Murdock has been in the industry for over 3 decades. And I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, a young girl who recognized that I was gifted with this voice to sing. And this gift absolutely came from God. I know that He put His super on my natural because of how it made me feel and how it made the people who were hearing me feel. Even at a very young age, I was able to sing like a grown woman. So I grew up listening to Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, all the singers. And I had those big old headphones on, listening to their records when the radio came on, or like, on the high five. You're probably too young to know what a high five is. But it's when you put the needle on the record, with a skip, you put a nickel or a
Oh,
dime on it. Okay.
gotcha.
Some of your listeners will understand that. But I listened to those records and I learned, I gleaned from them, I mimicked them. And they were really like giving me the master class as a young girl. But then I also watched the Saturday matinees with a little curly haired white girl by the name of Shirley Temple, singing on the good ship, lollipop. She could sing and dance and tap dance and all that. And I saw myself. I said, one day that's going to be me, because I recognized the talent that was in her. I recognized that it was in me. So that was really the glimpse of my future self, of the dream. And I tell you, the journey has been remarkable. And I would trade not any piece of the journey, because I wouldn't be here today talking to you if I changed anything.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that was short and sweet. I like it. I like it. But we're going to jump right into it. So, because you just named a few of your, what I would call inspirations. So let's just talk about that first. What was your inspiration behind starting in the music industry?
Well, because I recognized that I had a gift, and my dream was to be Shirley Temple, to do all of those things, to be on stage and to sing and dance and share my gift. And I grew up, singing in church. And I gave my life to the Lord at a very young age. So I thought that that would be the direction that my gift would take me. But those doors never opened for me. And I ministered with a crusade team that went all across the country doing revivals, at a week at a time in different cities. And then I got laid off from that, and I went back to my old job. And in the interim, Roger Troutman heard me singing on a cassette tape. I'm taking you way back. This might be before your time too. A cassette, okay? A cassette tape, because my cousin worked for Troutman Enterprises, and she came to visit and took that tape of me singing "Jesus Is Love" by Lionel Richie and the Commodores back. Roger Troutman and his brother Larry heard that and wanted to know, was I interested in making records. So when my oldest sister and I drove down to Dayton to talk to them about it, and I told her, well, I really want to sing gospel. I don't want to sing R&B. I've had many opportunities to sing R&B, but my heart is really with gospel. So they didn't have any connections in that area, but they said if I ever wanted to give it a try, they wanted to help me. So I left there, Miss T, thinking, why, God, is this the only door opening for me? So could this be the door that you have for me, since this is the only thing that's showing up? Are you speaking to me?
Right.
And so after much prayer and talking to my family and people who are close to me, my pastor, I walked by faith through the open door. And but I always promised God that that I would take him with me everywhere I went, just like I did to any other job that I had. So just the
Mhm.
main thing, I call it just being faithful in your station. Wherever God plants you, you just be your authentic self. So I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I love Jesus, and I don't separate that from any. I don't separate my life. My
Mhm.
life is the whole, this totality of who Shirley is. Loves God, gifted, blessed to share her gift with the world. That's it. What you see is what you get. So even on all of my records, even the very first record, I remember telling Roger, this record cannot go out without me saying something to the Lord. And if you check on that very first record, the same one that has As We Lay, the same one that has Go On Without You and Truth to Dare and all that, there's a little short song called My Tribute. And it simply says, I shall not forget what you've done for me. I shall not forget
Mhm.
how you set me free. Everywhere I go, everyone will know that Jesus lives within my soul. Thank you for this time to say what's on my mind. You're everything to me. So we did that, and the record company did not want, of course, they did not want that on that secular record. They didn't want a gospel song on an R&B record, but Roger and Larry knew what it meant to me, and they fought to get it on there. And it was on the record, and every record I did since then always had a gospel song or inspirational song, and I even included that in my performance in my shows, because that's who I am.
Awesome, awesome. So let's just talk a little bit about that because I hear that you say, giving reverence to God is like the most important thing when you do your records. So
Absolutely.
how was that balance for you as far as, keeping it where it's like not really gospel, it's more so R&B or soul and tied with you keeping your love for Christ. So like how did you tie that really all in together?
Because my personal walk is my personal walk, and I didn't stray from my personal walk with God and my commitment to God. And so the life that I lived every day in my life was somebody who loved God. Now, even
Right.
as Christians, now, are we perfect people? Do we ever make mistakes? Absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
thank God for the blood. That's why Jesus died. Amen. And he can
Amen.
take our sins and throw them as far as the north is from the south, and the east is from the west, and he won't throw it up in your face like people will. Amen. But my heart was always toward God, always, growing and wanting to learn more, and to please him, and all that I do. Now, we have to remember that the Great Commission, when Jesus left, the Great Commission was go ye therefore, not stay in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So as believers, as Christians, as these Jesus followers, you know, I'll put it like this. When I gave my life to the Lord, my mother said, baby, don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good.
Uh-huh.
Because we're still in this world. We have to function in this world. But I function in my life under godly principles. So when it comes to the music, I'm singing about life. Now, I had a problem with singing As We Lay when it was first presented to me because of what the situation was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, I noticed the hit record and all that, and everything, and people can relate to this. But my problem with the song is I don't see the regret, in the present state. So
Uh-huh.
in order for me to sing it, I need to add these lyrics. And what I added was, we should have counted up the cost, but instead we got lost in the second, in the minute, and the hour,
Mm-hmm.
because there are consequences attached to every decision that we make in life. And so, you might do something that feels good to you right now, but guess what? Sunlight shines across your sleeping face. When the light of day comes, baby, everything that's done, all the dirt that's done in the dark is going to be exposed by the light of the sunlight. And now you got to look at it for real. You got to look at it in its realness, in its rawness. And
Mm-hmm.
now you got to face it. You got to deal with it. Deal with the fact that this might feel good to me for like last night, but today he's got to go home and face his wife. And in the story, we don't know if she got a boyfriend, if she got a husband, she got children,
Right.
but when we do things in our lives, we are teaching our children how to live, because we are the ones that they are watching. And it's not that people
Absolutely.
can't make a mistake. Everybody at some point in your life have made an as related decision, not just whether or not it's having dealing with infidelity, but making wrong choices, making permanent decisions based upon a temporary situation.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we have to think about the consequences. So for me, it needed that. And so when we added that to the song, I felt like, well, now people can at least understand that this is not a celebratory song about infidelity. It's really a sad song about regret. So all of my songs have been songs about life. Going without you, you left, my world came to an end. Then you came back again. Now I know there's no way I can go on without you. So for me, now when I first sang on that song, I actually just sung on the hook and sung on the vamp. So I had no idea what the story was about. But when I was asked to sing on the vamp, in church we know how to vamp out now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the story is about, but so, let me think, what would break my heart, if you left, and what would make my world come to an end? If I were to lose Jesus, if I were to lose God, his presence out of my life, his hand off of my life, baby, my world would come to an end. But then the song says, then you came back again. Now I know there's no way I can go on without you. And then the evangelist said, I want the whole world to know. No way. So for me, it was gospel because I wasn't in a relationship at that particular time. But for me, that's how I express the song, as losing the most important thing in your life and in your world, but the joy of getting it back again, the joy of reconciliation, whether it's a husband and a wife that's on the verge of divorce, but then they rekindle that love and they remember how they fell in love and why they fell in love in the first place. So it's really a song about losing, but it's also a song about redemption. It's a song about reconciliation, a song about getting back. So all of my songs, from that to Computer Love to I Love You Better Than That, all the songs that I In Your Eyes, a song I wrote for my husband. In your eyes, I see kindness. In your eyes, I see honesty. In your eyes, I see patience. Oh, baby, in your eyes, I see love. So I've sung about life in life situations, but I didn't want to just tell a story without giving a moral, without giving people, something to hold on to, the truth. I want to speak truth to power in my music. So that's how I was able to reconcile, who I am in God and in my life and in my relationship by reconciling it in the music and in the lyrics.
Absolutely. I love it. I thought you was about to start preaching. I was like, whoo, whoo.
So I said, well, what's in you comes out you.
I love it. But I actually want to go back to As We Lay, because when I first heard it, I was like, did this really happen? like everything that was going on, I was like, okay, so I definitely have to ask about this song. So I just want to go back a little bit to the song As We Lay. So
Sure.
what was the inspiration as far as this song? Like, how did it come to you? Because it was just mind blowing when I heard it.
Well, first of all, I didn't write As We Lay. As We Lay was written by Larry Troutman, Roger's brother, and Billy Beck from the Ohio Players. And Billy Beck actually sang it first because he was in a group that Roger produced called The Human Body. So it went out and it was sung by a man. Okay, but by being sung by a woman, I think what it is that I don't sing songs that make the woman the victim. Okay, because she had the power. First of all, she was the one that recognized, hey, this thing is messed up, and husband, she's not presenting herself to be a side piece. She said, hey, if I got jacked up in the As We Lay situation, now here's an opportunity for me to do better, to take that wisdom from that situation and bring it to what I'm going through now. That thing is called experience. So people can take their experience from what they've been through, even the mistakes that they've made, and bring it to what they're in the midst of now, and make a better choice. So husband says, I'm a lady with class. I know my desire will pass. This will not occur. You're that lady's husband, so I'm letting you go. Bye-bye. Okay. So for the song, it's about life. People can understand it. Now, what I thought that people would really get it when I said you should have climbed up the cross, but instead we got lost. But I think people listen and they deal with things, they take in things based upon what's going on in their own lives. So there would happen to be a lot of people who were actually in the As We Lay situation. So for them, it probably became like their theme song. But for people who were not in the As We Lay situation, they could probably look past their emotions of being, in that situation and really get the story. But I tried to bring the story home, with that we should have counted up the cost. Now Kelly Price redid it. And see, I didn't have a video, but she had a video. And in her video, she invited me to be a part of it. In the very beginning of her video, she calls me up on the phone and I said, and she tells me she's brokenhearted about being in this situation. And so I said, baby, I know you think you love this man, but God is not going to give you somebody else's husband. So in that video, it kind of gave you the visual of what the song is really all about.
Awesome. I love it, because that was like at the top of the list. I said I have to ask her, what was this song about?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So let's just talk a little bit more about you in the music industry. So I always like to ask artists this question, specifically because I feel like it's important to get it from artists' perspective. So my question is, at this point of time, as far as where the industry is currently, if you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
Well, first of all, that's a very good question, and thank you
Mhm.
for asking. I think there's a lot of good things dealing with old school. I just call it school, but there's a lot of great things that have developed in the industry dealing with the young people. If I could do anything, I would really try to bridge the gap better between, the old school and the new school, or seasoned artists and younger artists,
Mhm.
because they both have something to offer. I want to say that um, I don't really like to judge the new music too harshly, because I truly believe that every generation deserves to express their music um, in their own language.
Mhm.
So, their language may not be my language, but you cannot deny them speaking their truth.
Right.
Okay. I think if we listen and have conversation, then we can better understand, where they are, how they got there, and how we can best serve them
Mhm.
to help them navigate where they are. Because we've got a lot of wisdom, coming, especially surviving the music business for the many decades that we've been blessed to do that. um, Words of wisdom that Roger Troutman shared with me as a young artist. I try to share that as I meet, young singers coming up. Uh, I've been on Clubhouse since around Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I'll jump on there every now and then, and it's amazing how just the respect that I find that I receive from a lot of these young people, because they grew up listening to my music, and a lot of them listen to my chops just like I listen to Aretha and everybody. So to know that I've had the blessing to influence another generation, like I was influenced, standing on the shoulders of so many great people, it's an honor, and it's also very humbling.
Mhm.
So I try to share, and I've also shared this point. When the generations come together, we should look at it like running a relay race.
Okay.
The person that's coming up, they've got the baton in their hand, running up to meet the person that's in front of them that's ready to get it. But at some point, both parties have to hold the baton at the same time to make that exchange.
Mhm.
They have to run with it together, because if they don't, it's very easy to drop it, and then you'll forfeit the race.
Right.
So, in order for us to make this exchange, we have to come together some kind of way to
Mhm.
be able to share the wisdom, what it takes to make your music a classic, all those things
Right.
to let your life and your career survive the test of time.
Mhm.
The way we make records is different than the way they're making records. We basically crafted a record just like an artist would, dealing with paint and a palette and a canvas. It was line up on line. It was, line up on line, and we stacked the vocals. We did it ourselves over and over and over, until it was right. But today, with technology, they can sing it one time, copy it, bring it, loop it, and take it on down the track, and the song is done. It might take us a year to get done with the song. They'd be putting out four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs in a year. So some of that is very good. To be able to produce and be productive like that.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that each generation has something that to offer, and that would make, and if we did make that exchange, I think we would all walk away better. So I hope I answered your question with all that.
You definitely did. No, but I like I said, I like asking that question only because especially with the different, like you said, generations. Of course, everyone's answer is going to be different. So that's why when I asked, I was just like, I already know it's going to be something good. Like I'm not worried. So let's talk a little bit about. I've seen also too that on Facebook you do like a prayer, like you have a prayer ministry. So
Yes,
just
yes,
talk to us a little bit about that and how that all came
yes,
about.
yes. Well, my husband and I are. He's the senior pastor. I'm the co-pastor of Praying for You Ministries. Our Facebook and our website is prayingforyou.org. PRAYING, the number 4.org. And the whole thing started. A friend of my husband's and another friend of his invited him to just be a part of this Wednesday prayer. Every Wednesday at noon, from noon to 1, they would post on Facebook, on social media, if you need prayer, call this number. And then it grew out of that. It grew out of that Wednesday prayer into a 3-day a week Wednesday prayer wall Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll post on our social media and tell people you can call in the free conference call number. You can call and listen in and request your prayer, or you can just leave it right there, right on our page, and we'll be sure to to honor that prayer request. And so it grew out of that into having Sunday worship. It's online. At first it was just free conference call. Then my husband started doing Facebook Live every Sunday, and the time is 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll come on and I'll sing a song before and everything, and then it went into the Bible Expedition, where we have Bible study every Thursday. We've got late night Bible study on Wednesdays. We've got Christian education. It has turned into a church without walls. And what I love about it is because it's the members are people from all over the country. We say we don't have members, we have family. Once you call in, you're a part of the family. And it's amazing because sometimes like during the prayer wall, we'll find that there's a theme. It might be maybe somebody a soldier or somebody that's gone through post traumatic stress syndrome and PSTD. And so some of our people are veterans. So I remember them getting online, finding, places where this person could go. And I remember them saying that the people called back and said, I'm so glad this person made connection with you, because if he had to wait another 24 hours, he would not even be here. So even with people with homelessness problems, we get online, we get Google-licious on that thing, to try to help people. And so it's really been a very blessed situation, because we love to help people. And I just started a YouTube channel, and I'm working on more content, but every week I put up an inspirational message, because people need inspiration. When people think gospel, they think all kinds of things, but gospel just simply means good news. And baby, I don't know anybody, whether you're a teacher, preacher, garbage can collector, ditch digger, honey, to everybody to use some good news. So we want to share this platform that we have to not only entertain people, but to leave them inspired and leave them feel like, hey, yeah, I needed that. Now I can go another further, So, my husband's also, he's the music director and the keyboard player for Zap. He's been in the band for over 30 for Roger's music director, all while Roger was living. And after the Zap band, COVID, ain't none of us, we all at home right now. But and we're writing music, we're making music, trying to not waste a good pandemic. So we're very busy. I have a new release. I'm sure we'll get to that sometime. But I don't want to jump ahead of you.
You must have knew that was going to be my next question.
Are you serious?
That was actually going to be my next question. I was going to say, I heard through the grapevine you got something you working on.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and just tell us right on about that.
I'm working on a project, and a full project, and the working title is Life Songs. Because and that's my website too, Shirley Murdock Life Songs, because I sing songs about life. So life includes love, it includes relationship, it includes inspiration, it includes your relationship with God. We're mothers, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, we're daughters, sons. And I think that music, it would be nice to get music that would speak to all of those aspects of our existence. And in music today, they always put you in a little box: gospel, jazz, R&B, hip hop, whatever, just these little boxes. But I wanted to do something not exclusive, but inclusive. So kind of like a buffet. So with this Life Songs record, I'm praying that you'll be able to go and just get what you need. If you need inspiration, there's some songs that's going to encourage your heart. If you need a beautiful love song, there's going to be some love songs on there. If I still come from Zap, so if you want to get funky, there'll be some funk on that bad boy. So I just want to just make that project inclusive and kind of make it like a one-stop shop. But the song that I have out now is a song called "People Get Ready." And it was inspired, Miss T, because of everything that was going on in 2020. 2020 was a rough year. First of all, we all just thank God that we made it to 2021. But there was just so much with COVID. Too many people have lost loved ones or have had loved ones that are sick. Some people, they call them long haulers, still dealing with the symptoms and, from COVID. There was the social unrest. There was George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and way too many. And so there were the protests, all those things going on. There was all this vitriol in the atmosphere, the left and the right, and racism 2020 and all this. And I came up in a time, my husband and I came up in a time when the music reflected the times, what was going on, in the social uh, socialism of the time. So whether it was Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions with, what's going on. I mean, I'm sorry, people get ready. There's a train coming. You don't need no ticket. Just get on board. Or if it was Marvin Gaye, what's going on? What's going on? Or James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. You know, uh, um, you people who are dark, who are blacker than blue, or Black Butterfly by Denise Williams. So many songs, or Let It Be, by John Lennon. Just so many. Whether it was R&B, whether it was gospel, artists always would at some point let the music reflect the times. So with all that was going on in 2020, we wanted to put something into the atmosphere that would promote unity and hope and healing. And so we decided to do People Get Ready, There's a Train Coming. Because, if you don't get ready, you'll miss it. I don't know no mother, if all the mothers out there can, if you, once you find out you are pregnant, get ready to have a baby, honey, you start getting the nursery ready. You start getting ready. You start getting ready for this life to come, this new baby to come. And so People Get Ready, There's a Train. We prayed, honey. We prayed for equity. We prayed for a new administration. We prayed for an answer to COVID. And these things are coming, but you don't want to miss it. And you don't want fear to paralyze you, having you missing the answer when the answer comes. So people get ready. There's a train of change coming. You don't need no ticket. Just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket. Just thank the Lord.
I'm just waiting for the preaching to start. I love it though. So I do want to ask this. If you did not step into being a singer, what do you think Shirley Murdock would be doing at this present moment?
I would probably be a fashion designer.
Okay.
I love to draw. I love art. So art would be, so my creativity is still in the arts. I would probably maybe even still be a writer, maybe a songwriter. I used to write poetry, when I was coming in high school. I love the theater. I love theater. Like I said, I was going to be Shirley Temple. I was going to be the black Shirley Temple. Okay. And then the singing opened the door for the acting. So, I've been doing gospel plays since the mid 80s. And I actually did Tyler Perry's first play entitled I Know I've Been Changed. And this was before Medea wasn't even a main character at that time. Okay. His main character was Uncle Joe. And so here's this young guy in his early 20s, just full of talent. I knew this guy. It was just amazing how much talent he had. But to see how God has blessed him and what he has done and how he's always given back, it just blesses my heart every time I see him get an award, every time I check on social media and see he's doing some things for people. But I'm really not surprised, because that's who he was, even as a young man. But for my dreams to come true of wanting to, be on stage and in theater, going from watching, some of my favorite people on television or on the big screen to actually being in the play with these awesome people. And I really, just like I learned and gleaned from Aretha and Gladys and Stevie and Mama Shirley Caesar and the Clark sisters and everybody, I gleaned and I learned how to be an actor from actors. And I went from having cameo appearances as Auntie Somebody to actually holding lead roles, And I just, I have a movie that's going to be coming out in a Christmas movie coming out in the fall. It's entitled The Matchmaker. And it was written and produced by Tamara Hill. And so that was very, very exciting. And a lot of the plays that I did, they filmed them and they actually came on television. You'll probably see a lot of them on BET and things like that. So, one door opened the door for the other. So, just be ready to walk through the open door.
Awesome. I love it. So as an artist, as I'm gonna say a Black woman who's an artist, what would you say is some of the best advice in this industry that you've ever received?
Well, the best advice that I got for this industry actually came from my friend and my producer and my mentor, Roger Troutman and Larry Troutman. They made deposits into my life that made me think. Larry asked me the question. He said, "Okay, do you want a hit record or do you want a career?"
Hmm.
He said, "Hit records go up the chart and down the chart, but a career, it takes time, it takes patience. You build a career, and when you build a career, it doesn't go away. You just continue to build." He even said to me, he gave me an example of Tina Turner. He said, "Okay, when it was Ike and Tina Turner, the various we're aware of the things that happened in both of their lives, but he said she never stopped. She worked the club circuit. She worked and she worked and she worked, and one day her music caught up with her." And when her music caught up with her, Tina Turner, the
Mhm.
person, it blew up. So that was
Right.
always something that really stuck in the back of my mind. As I build the career, one day, like my whole body of work will one day catch up with who I am, the essence of who I am. When it catches up and they meet. But then Roger said to me when As Relay was on the top of the charts, and I share this, with a lot of young ladies, that are in the industry. He said, "Okay, now As Relay is on the top of the chart. You need to talk to me." He said, "Because it can't stay on the top of the charts."
Hmm.
He said, "All those records up underneath are waiting to kick it off the top of the charts." He said, "And right now, you are the best thing since ice cream, since sliced bread when it comes to the record company." He said, "They love you. They will name their kids after you." He said, "But when that record comes off the charts, they're going to take your poster down, put somebody else's up there, baby, and you'll be lucky if they accept your phone call." He said, "This is what you do. Do a great record, do a great live performance, but this is the key. Stay touchable to the people.
Mm.
They will support you for the rest of your life." And that's how you build a career. You build a career by staying touchable to the people, and giving them music that they feel good after they hear your music, that they're uplifted when they hear your music. Roger was the type of cat. He always wanted to make people feel better. And I mean, like, check out him and Larry. Check out this on I Can Make You Dance. You can dance in the morning when you eat your cornflakes. I can make you dance if you want to, if you want me to. Come on. So it's just fun stuff, really lighthearted. And he was very generous with his stage. He was very open. He would let us go out, and be featured out front. He only had one condition: do not bore my fans.
That's a good one.
And what I love about him too is not only was he my producer, but he was also an artist. So he was artist sensitive, you know, and he believed in me, and he believed in the gift that God put in me, and he pushed me and he urged me. He, you know, he wasn't he wasn't like, "No, you can't write." He wanted me to write. He wanted me to grow and to become. And I really feel that he'd really be proud of all that I have accomplished. I remember when I was signed to Warner Brothers to do another R&B record, and I met Bishop T.D. Jakes. And Bishop T.D. Jakes, I met him because I was singing on the praise and worship team at my church, still doing R&B. So I had some marvelous pastors, didn't I? But the Lord spoke to my pastors and said, "Hey," I told them, "Stay with her. I'm doing something with her." So not only did I have pastors that could hear from God, but they had the heart to obey. So I praise God for Pastor Darlene, and for Pastor Lawrence Bishop. God rest his soul. But Bishop came to preach our anniversary, and there was a gathering at their home, and so that's when I got a chance to meet him and do that one face-to-face, one-on-one. And and he was his keyboard player knew who I was. He said, "Oh, you that girl that sang that song." He said, "I thought you was a pastor's daughter." So we had a great time talking, and I told him my life and how I always wanted to sing gospel and never had those opportunities, but God was using me where I was, in mainstream. He said, well, maybe we might get a chance to do something together. So he started inviting me to be a part of the Women That Are Loose conferences that he had, in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta and in New Orleans and, at the Superdome and all that. And he invited me also to be a part of his choir CD. So, and he did a project called Sacred Love Songs. And I did the title cut, The Lady, Her Lover, and Her Lord, and a song called You Are My Ministry. And so the bishop said, well, you never had an opportunity to sing gospel, but here's your opportunity, but you can't do both. So I had to make a decision. And I always told God, as long as you're using me here, I'm going to stay right here. But if you ever open that door, I'm ready when you're ready. So I went to Raj and said, hey, Raj, I finally have an opportunity to sing gospel, and I want to be released from Warner Brothers. He said, well, baby, that's what you were doing when I met you. I'm not surprised. So he and Larry both, they went and championed my release from Warner Brothers. And I was released on paper in December of 98. And they both passed away in April of 99. But they were very instrumental in not only did they make my dreams come true, with being with having a career in mainstream, but they released me for my dreams to come true, for me to fulfill my heart's desire to sing gospel. And God is so awesome that he has shown me how to use everything, how to go out and do a performance and to entertain people with As We Lay, A Husband Born Without You, Computer Love, I Love Me Better Than That, In Your Eyes, and I'm Telling You I'm Not Going, all those songs that people love from a Shirley Murdock record. But I can also sing It's in Your Hands. No matter how big the problem is, you can put it in God's hands and you can walk away better than you came. I can say, what do you do when you've done all you can? Seems like it's never enough. Child, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You stand, watch the
You
Lord
better go
see
ahead.
through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand, baby. I look out in the audience and people, they feel that. And they'll tell me after, I needed that. So I thank God that he trusts me to not only go back and get that music, but and minister it in content. Like I told you how of what As Relay is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to tell them about the consequences, and I say, before you late, somebody need to pray. Can the church say amen? Everybody, amen. We had just a wonderful time and of sharing and just not only helping people to feel better through entertainment, but I want to go beyond just your emotions and put make a deposit into your spirit
Mm-hmm.
to know that God ain't mad at you. Ain't that good news? That I don't
It
care what
is.
you did, God ain't mad at you. So that's my life. That's how I do it. And I feel that that's really, I feel like I'm really walking in my purpose and what I've been called to do. And it's just amazing. I'm just really, very grateful. And it humbles me every day that I get a chance to do that.
Absolutely, and we appreciate. I'm gonna say we because I'm speaking from my generation. We appreciate that there are still humble spirits like yourself out there that can even talk to us. Because now they seem like they don't want to talk to us.
And to me, honey, that is the craziest thing. I don't understand that. Because listen, we are all standing on the shoulders of somebody. You may
Mhm.
not ever get to meet them, but somebody paved the way. And I always feel like I owe, you know, because of that, I owe. And I also owe because these same beautiful people have taken their hard earned money to go buy my records, to buy the concert tickets.
Mhm.
There's so many people that they could choose from. They didn't have to choose my gospel or my R&B, but they did. And because they did, I owe them a positive message, a word of inspiration. The words that we speak are spirit and life. And I want to always make sure that I'm speaking life. I don't want to speak death or speak something that will cause harm to anybody. There's a song that I love by Hezekiah Walker, and it's called it says um I won't harm you with the words of my mouth. I love you. Oh, I
Mhm.
need you to survive. It is
Yep.
His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. We need each other to survive. Each of us, what God has put in all of us, we are an answer to prayer for somebody. Even if it's what you've gone through, the test that you've gone through has brought you out, and you now have a testimony that will
Mhm.
help somebody that's on lock, that feel like I'm an alien from outer space. Nobody understands. Nobody's ever gone through this. Can I ever get through? But then there's you on the other side of their prison wall, said, jingling the keys. Oh, baby. Oh, yes, you can, honey. Because if He did it for me, He'll do it for you. People need word. They need encouragement in all aspects of life. And so, I just really feel honored that I had this opportunity to do this. And so, as long as there's breath in my body, I'm going to walk out this purpose in the freedom of knowing who I am,
Mhm.
whose I am, and the purpose for which He created me. And so, it's like I said, it's been an amazing journey, an amazing discovery of these things. I didn't always know these things. I always, somewhere in the back of my mind, thought it. But when the pieces started coming together, it's like, okay, God, I get it. I get it now. Now I know why I started in gospel, because you wanted me to have a foundation. You wanted me to know who I was and whose I was, so that the industry would not tell me who I am. You know, and that's another thing that I share with people. You need to know who you are before you step into this industry, because if not, the industry will dictate who you are. And you have to have that foundation, that square one. And when it gets crazy, you can always go back to square one. Go back to your foundation. Go back to your family. Go back to your friends, people who know you, people who tell you, now that's crazy. You don't need a bunch of yes people in your life. You need people that will hold you accountable, so you won't be out there doing stupid stuff to other people or to yourself, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely, and we needed that. I love it. So one other question that I did have, because I know, like you said, COVID kind of prolonging a lot of things. But do you foresee maybe a virtual concert or something we can look forward to?
You know, we've been thinking about that, because it's difficult knowing how to navigate in this COVID era.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we're going to come out of it. If everybody does the right thing, if we can just do what we need to do, then we'll all be able to come outside and play again. Like I said, we pray for these vaccines, and I know that as Black people, we have trepidation, about, because our history, but we don't want to confuse the demons of our past with the angels of our present.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to miss it. And so, you know if if we can just wear the mask, just be mindful. you know we started going to Japan in the 80s, in the early mid 80s, and they were wearing masks back then in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
On the subway, walking down the street, masks, okay? And we looked at them like they were crazy. But what it was is they understood how disease and infection could be spread. So if
Mm-hmm.
they had a cold, they had enough respect for their fellow man to put on a mask, so they wouldn't be coughing and hacking all over, and spitting droplets all over them. So, so when the states got shut down and people were wearing masks, we saw how the numbers went down. So
Mm-hmm.
we know that does help. So, I wore a mask, not for me. I wore a mask for you and for the other people that I might encounter when I go to the grocery store. So
Right.
let's just show some love for each other, and protect one another. And I got my second the Fauci ouchie. I got my second Fauci ouchie last week. So baby, I'm gonna be in full efficacy. How you like that word? Efficacy. Next Saturday. So which will now make me feel a little better about even fathering getting on a plane or being, out there. But there's still some precautions that we need to take.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the summer comes and as people get vaccinated, and we wear our masks and we do these things and these numbers come down, because virtual concerts fine, but I miss the people. I don't
Okay.
want to. I mean, I will. I mean, I've gone on Instagram, just for the heck of it, and the people come on when they saw that I'm on, and we talk and we ask how you doing, what's going on, you okay? In this COVID, and they ask me to sing songs, and I would take requests, and I've done that, and I do that on Facebook and things like that. But I don't, I don't want to be on lockdown in virtual world.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back out there and sing songs, do concerts. I want to sign the autographs. I want to take the pictures, you know. And so I miss that. I miss that humanness. I miss that social touch. I miss looking somebody eyeball to eyeball, and they can look and see that I mean what I'm saying. I can look at you, I know. I miss that synergy between people that virtual can't do. I thank God for it because it's been a blessing. Who knew? Who knew that even like computer love, I've been searching for someone, that computer love would be so relevant in 2021.
Right.
We've got this Zoom, we've got we have this technology, which is a beautiful thing. But I don't want to be on lock looking at a computer screen. I want to be in your face. So I'm looking forward to that. So, maybe I'm not ruling it out, but I can't wait to get back on a live stage and do live performance.
Awesome. And I'll be looking forward to the live performance because I will be like, I'm coming down or I'm coming to the show. So
Okay, Miss T.
most definitely. And I like I said, I can't wait to actually, like you said, have that face-to-face interaction. It does take away from, like you said, the computer screen as far as, okay, hi, I see you on screen, but that interaction face to face is always a lot better.
I mean, I thank God for it because can you imagine if we didn't have it?
Right.
We'd be bonkers, But I mean, I'm grateful for it. But I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here. I don't. I want my life back. I want our lives back, and we can do it if we do the right thing, just for a little while, not forever, just for a little while. And then we can all come back outside. I come back outside and play. And so the song "People Get Ready" is available on all of the streaming platforms. And you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Shirley Murdock. I'm on Instagram at Shirley Murdock, the number 4 real, 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 and on Twitter at Shirley Murdock. But our ministry page again is prayingforyou.org. Praying PRAYING, the number 4 YOU.org. And my website is www.shirleymurdocklifesongs.com.
Awesome. Well, she just took my last question, y'all.
I need to stop that. I just need to stop it.
No, but that was actually just,
we're here, right?
We here. That was just gonna be, my last thing as far as where, if they wanna, hear you, because YouTube, but we want to actually support as far as where they can find your music and everything. Yeah. But you done already told us all streaming outlets, everything.
That's right.
So go buy it.
And go to my YouTube page and please like and subscribe, because in that way, when I'm doing something, you'll be the first to know.
Absolutely, because I'm already subscribed.
Oh, bless your heart.
Listen, when I got that email that says everything's confirmed, I said thank you. You just added to
say won't it do it?
But again, I really do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. This was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I was a tad bit nervous before you came on. I was like, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna freeze?
We're gonna talk. And shout out to all my peeps in Wilmington, Delaware, everybody from the Mama's Boy play with Priest Tyre and Mrs. Independent. And I mean, I've done so many plays with Priest, and I love my time in Wilmington. So shout out Wilmington.
Awesome. Well, again, guys, I appreciate everyone that tuned in today to another great episode of Talk with Miss T. Again, I'm Miss T. If you have not already, for those that are just coming in, go and download that app. It's free on the Google Play Store, the App Store. Go get it. Go follow me at Talk with Miss T. And again,
Miss T, that should be their favorite 4-letter word. Free.
Free, right? And I made it that way, so help me help you, because you can stay informed, and also too, you can text me now on the app, and I'll respond back in real time. So we getting there. And
Come
then
on,
also
come on,
too,
come on, modern technology. Shoo bop, I wanna love you.
and also too, we do have Talk with Miss T Radio that will be launching very, very soon. So April 1st, we will be having that launching as well. And we will also have Miss Murdock's music in there. We already got the whole section, the playlist it's already set. So but again, I appreciate you coming on the show. We definitely have to have you back. And I will be looking forward to those in-person interviews and those
Yes.
sessions and everything. And I just look forward to it.
All
But
right, honey. I
until
look
next
forward to
time,
it.
guys, we are signing off.
Bye, everybody.